What is the process for understanding ourselves and who we become? I met with teacher, dancer, humanitarian Joan Derry after a tap class one Saturday morning to discuss this very topic. Who helped you make personal decisions growing up?
I suppose my mom did, but just in energetically, I don't think that I think she kind of left me on my own in terms of decision making. I think I was fairly quiet, somewhat reserved, but I think I was perceived, and I think I always have been perceived as outgoing.
How did you learn to trust yourself?
I think that came with, I really did have a sense of myself.
At what age did you know you had something to say?
I think it was early teens, probably. I think I started to feel a self-confidence in myself. I did feel like I had kind of something to prove in terms of people taking me seriously, people respecting me for my intellect. I was more of the go-getter, and I think that was partly my personality, but partly coming up through that time. I definitely had carried the feminist mantle a lot.
What do you consider to be your happiest moments, either growing up or as an adult?
I think my whole sense of being a mother. I have 2 kids, and it's like sometimes you think, oh, I really want to have children, but when I did, this is great. I said, yeah, I love, my kids are just wonderful people, and I enjoy them a lot, and I really enjoyed when they were little. It was just like I had a lot of fun in that relationship. They're not followers.
Okay. That's good, isn't it?
It is good. It's actually very good. They're strong. They're strong, dynamic young people.
What is the most satisfying thing about being you?
I think that I try to seek truth, like in relationship, like marriage relationship, even though things may be confrontational. I think I really seek a higher truth in a way, or try to be humble. It's through humility. I mean, the only way, if you are in a confrontation, or if someone's pointing something out to you, like, you always do da-da-da, if you just say, well, no, I don't, it's on reflection. And one must be humble to say, yeah, I guess I really do always do that.
Do you recall a situation when your voice was silenced? And how did you respond to that?
We wanted to change the dress code because girls couldn't wear pants. And I felt like, of course girls should be able to wear like pants or jeans. And it was just, that kind of thing enraged me, that it was the inequality between like the boy thing and and girls, what women have been allowed to do, it did affect me personally, I guess. And what we did, like we had sit-ins and, petitions in order for our voice to be heard. Yeah. It was a very tumultuous time at the end of the Vietnam War, and we were all speaking up a lot, and young people in general, we were becoming empowered, but young women were. We changed the rule. Tried to raise my kids to be compassionate towards other people and the planet, and towards themselves.
Now, you are a dancer. You've always been a dancer.
Since I was 18. When I was in high school, I was a gymnast. And then I started, gymnastics didn't like the competition part. I was not good at the acrobatics of it, but I loved the fluid movement.
Is there a particular form of expression that you most identify with?
Well, dance.
And tell me why.
I grew up outside of Detroit, and I grew up with Motown, and I was dancing. I had my little transistor radio, and listening to music and, you know, doing the singing the hairbrush thing, you know, to all the Motown stuff. And my life was infused with sort of like just funk and rhythm from an early time. So I think that music is, yeah, I just feel it a lot.
What form of dance do you think is your favorite?
Tap has really been, you know, it's just really my expression. I don't know if this is something I've learned, but it's something that I feel like is an important thing to embody, is to live your life in a caring way. Not necessarily like overtly caring. I do feel like in how I treat people every day, every instance that comes up, you have an opportunity to live with grace, you know, and be caring and compassionate. The example that I give is that, and I've shared this with my kids a lot, is when you drop a pebble in water and you see those circles that go out from it. Every action that you do is that moment in that pebble there, because you can see it. You know, if you're having an interaction, even in a grocery store or something, if you're nice to somebody, that goes out from you. If you treat someone like bleh, you're in a bad mood, it definitely goes out from you. I'm not saying that one can always do that, or nor do I necessarily always act in the highest, you know, cheery and compassionate. It's just that it's good to have that sense inside you as to encourage you to do that. I think it's a good thing. As I'm getting older and my body aches, and so I can't dance as much or as strongly as I used to. So it takes a lot of compassion towards myself to like forgive myself for getting older.
How does teaching connect with what you just said?
Teaching is, wow, teaching to me almost has nothing to do with dancing.
Wow.
Yeah, teaching to me is like I get to share my inner light, I think, my spirit.
So you are the pebble in that water.
Exactly. So the form that I'm using is tap dancing.
Okay.
If I were really good at photography, you know, or whatever medium, that's just the form that I'm good at, and I get to use that. But really, I feel like my influence is as someone who use some humor with people, help them find their own light, really. Help them find their own, and to feel good about what they're doing. More? What do you mean?